This is client horse Zora. We have been using the surcingle to work on building muscle in both her top line and her hind end. She's a little bit underweight, which is something we've been working on since she's been at Wild Child. This was her when she first got here, and this is what she looks like now. So she's definitely made a lot of progress, although she does still have room to grow. So this surcingle we got specifically from State Line Tack. I will post the link for you guys in the description in case you want to order one of your own. Before I begin going into detail, I want to explain to you guys that I don't actually like using surcingles in the traditional manner. I do not like teaching verticals. I do not like forcing head carriage, and we're going to get into why I do things a little bit differently in this video in just a little bit. You can see here without the surcingle, Zora is carrying her head rather high. She's hollowing out her back and she's not collecting. Once we put the surcingle on and have it attached in a certain setting, she's carrying her head a little bit lower. She's rounding out her back a bit more, and this is what we're looking for in terms of collection. Now, the thing is collection is important because not only can it add muscle and top line, but it is good for the horse's body, because if they're always walking around with their head super fucking high, this can cause a lot of physical issues and physical damage. Here she is again. We're going in the opposite direction. Her head is still a little bit lower. We want her to collect. We want her to lower that head. Like I just said, it's good for building top line and muscle, and it is also good to help them carry their body in a more natural, comfortable position as well. So why don't I like teaching a horse how to carry their head on the vertical or forcing a certain head carriage? So when it comes to training horses, you might notice that a lot of people try and carry their horse's head on the vertical. And so what this means is, imagine there's a line perpendicular to the ground, and people oftentimes try to train their horses to carry their nose perpendicular to the ground along that line. You can kind of see what I'm talking about right here. One of the reasons why I don't teach verticals is because it's not natural. You don't ever see a horse out to pasture playing around with their head on the vertical. When you start trying to train verticals and get a horse to force their head into a certain frame that isn't natural for them, this can cause a whole host of issues. This can wear down their body, their spine. It puts stress on their poll, puts stress on their neck, all of their vertebrae. It puts a lot of excess stress on their muscles, their joints, and their bones, because horses were not naturally meant to carry their head on the vertical. And so when I'm using a lunging surcingle, I use it mainly for collection. You can see with Zora that I don't have it tight. I'm not trying to force her head in a position that's unnatural to her. I just have it loose enough to try and encourage her to lower that head and start rounding out her back and collecting. This is a picture of sanctuary horse Filio collecting beautifully for us. You can see that his back is rounded out, his hind end is driving his front end, his head is lowered, and this is just a beautiful example of collection. Now, Zora is not quite here yet. This is something that we're still working with her on, and the surcingle is a great aid to help her understand collection a little bit more and carry her body a bit more. So keep in mind, if you are going to use a lunging surcingle, it's important that you know how to do it in a manner that is more natural to the horse and more beneficial to the horse. So again, I don't want to force head positions. I don't want to force verticals. My entire purpose of using a lunging surcingle isn't what people traditionally use. I use it to encourage them to lower their head, round out their back, and collect, because collection is an important factor when it comes to training and riding with horses. So collection is important. Verticals, not so much. There's a lot of different settings that you can use on a lunging surcingle. You can see here that I have the draw reins connected a little bit higher, and I have them connected a little higher because this can help encourage her to lower her head. When I'm first introducing a horse to a surcingle, which is right here, you can see that her head's still quite high. I have it connected a little bit lower, and I have it pretty loose, and this is because in this moment I do not know if Zora has ever worn a lunging surcingle, and so I wanted to start small, start with it on one of the loosest settings possible so that she can start to kind of get an idea for how it feels, and I can start trying to encourage collection, which you can see right here. Within just a day's difference, I moved the draw reins up a little bit, and now she's already starting to lower her head a bit more. So it's important to remember as well, when you're using a lunging surcingle, there are different settings that can be used, and they all kind of serve a purpose. And just remember to be super cautious, super careful. Don't force your horse's head into an unnatural position. And on top of that, just be super careful when using tools like these, because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what settings to use for what situations, just make sure that you educate yourself before using things such as a lunging surcingle, because the last thing you want to do is literally tie your horse's head so close to their chest that it's just unnatural and unsafe for them. In the next month or two, I will be sharing a video with you guys of Zora's 30-day progress of how we got her from being thin and under-muscled to fat with more muscle, more top line and stuff like that. I've been recording little snippets of her training every single day, and I'm going to compile it into a YouTube video so that you guys guys can also learn a bunch of different exercises to work with your horse on building that top line, building collection, and all of that fun stuff as well. So definitely keep an eye out for that, and hopefully that helps y'all understand a little bit more about lunging surcingles and using them in a way that is more natural to the horse rather than just a traditional way of forcing their head on the vertical or into a carriage that just isn't quite right.
So I hope you guys all enjoyed this YouTube video. Before we end off for the day, I want to give you guys a friendly reminder to go and check out our other social medias. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have a bunch of random stuff out there, so definitely go check it out. You can find the links to all of that on our website, which we'll put in the description. We also have several books on the shelf that I highly recommend you guys go and check out, all on different equine related matters. We also have a podcast out there that discusses the life lessons horses have to teach us, as well as a merch store. And if you take a picture of you wearing our merch, then we'll send you a discount on your next order. We are also a sponsored writer for Jeweled and Tooled Custom Leathers, and they make a big portion of the tack that we use on a daily basis. And if you use the discount code WILDCHILD2025, you will also get a killer fucking deal. And last but certainly not least, I want to remind you guys that all of the content you see, all of the videos that we have, are purely funded by myself. I like to offer these at absolutely no cost to you guys because I truly just want to educate and help create a better world for the horses we all love so much. However, if you would like to financially help or support the sanctuary horses or the things we need to make these videos, or the horses that we rescue and rehabilitate, I have a list of different ways that you can donate. We are not a registered nonprofit. We are just an LLC trying to make ends meet, and continue making a better world for the horses and helping horses in need. So if you feel inclined to donate to any of those, please do so. All of the proceeds from our merch and our books and all that fun stuff as well also go to supporting the sanctuary horses and helping us help more horses in need. So stay strong, stay true, stay wild. Thank you guys for your support, and we'll see y'all next time.